Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Mark Golding confident of PNP victory in eastern Portland. One man shot and killed and wife robbed in Clarendon Sunday night. And later in sports, triple jumper Jaden Hibbert nominated for a Rising Star Award by World Athletics. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamela Pula and here are the details. We begin with a TVJ News follow-up. The police have confirmed that money which went missing from a Beryllium Truck has been recovered. Two suspects remain in custody, but we were told that they are not employees of the company. It's understood that the money went missing last Thursday. A security team was reportedly transferring 48 bags of cash to the Norman Manley International Airport when an alarm was raised that the back of the van was open. Upon closer look, it was then discovered that two bags containing an undetermined sum of cash were missing. The matter was then reported to the police and an investigation launched. A man is dead and his wife robbed in Green Meadows, Clarendon Sunday night. He has been identified as 62-year-old Derek Morgan, also known as Jim, from the area. According to reports, Mrs. Morgan observed the house next door on fire when she arrived home. While making checks, she was attacked by two men. She was robbed of her mobile phone at gunpoint and ordered inside her house. Minutes later, Mr. Morgan stopped by the house on fire when he was attacked by the men who shot him. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The police are investigating. Over in St. Catherine, a man was shot and killed in Old Harbour Bay Sunday night. He has been identified as 23-year-old Andre Williams, also known as Coricat, from East Bay Drive, Old Harbour Bay. According to reports, Mr. Williams was leaving the community when he was attacked by a man on foot. The gunman shot him in the upper body. Mr. Williams was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. No motive has been established for the killing. The National Security Minister has expressed doubts about the effectiveness of body-worn cameras in fatal police shootings. Dr. Horace Strang believes they are of very little value in such incidents. According to the Independent Commission of Investigation, INDECOM's second quarterly report for 2024, none of the 252 shooting incidents involving members of the security forces this year had activated body-worn cameras. INDECOM says it is a disturbing trend that highlights the need for better accountability measures within the police force. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Strang, however, says body-worn cameras offer limited value in high-pressure situations like shootouts.
The primary benefit of cameras is in public order. So when police officers apprehend vendors on the street, people disposing of garbage, and the events that might be too loud and they seek to apprehend, they have to remove equipment or take away vendors, which we're going to change in terms of how we deal with that. But those situations where cameras are value, and we have heard very little of anything of that sort, where policemen are seen brutalizing citizens.
Dr. Chang says the cameras are used to benefit the police officers in other places.
If you get in combat with a camera on your chest, first of all, you're going to die behind it because you're being shot at. And the JDF has used them before in the helmets, and they prove quite invalid because they fell off, they got knocked off, and they have very little value in those situations. So the first person we're equipping are the PSTB formation, which is dealing with the public in public order. It is of very little value, and you don't need to be an expert to understand it. You put a helmet, a camera on your chest, you start shooting at somebody. First they start shooting at you, you're going to die for cover.
Which is why he says enhanced security measures are implemented.
Enhanced security measures, well, look, we have many enhanced security measures out there. The legislature itself, as a specific entity which has been described in policy, is awaiting further research by the lawyers. But as far as enhanced security measures, all I've announced this morning are enhanced security measures. And the future formations, they increase the redevelopment of the highway patrol, they focus on gangs, increase intelligence activity, both technologically and human resources, are a suite of activities that are enhanced security measures.
He says the minister will be meeting with Indicom to further discuss the issue. To news in politics, the People's National Party last evening formally introduced Isat Buchanan as its caretaker candidate for East Portland at a mass rally in the constituency. O'Shane Masters has the details.
We're ready, and I say to Andrew, call the election.
A confident Mark Golding at the Eastern Portland Constituency Conference Sunday night. The PNP is looking to wrestle that seat from the JLP's Anne-Marie Vaz, the wife of the MP for Western Portland, Darrell Vaz. The seat became vacant in 2019 following the murder of the then MP Dr. Linvale Bloomfield, and despite numerous efforts, the PNP has failed to recapture the seat. But with the impending elections, the party is looking to turn that tide with attorney Isat Buchanan, and the PNP is coming with a vengeance.
Only a Rasta can avenge a Rasta.
Mr. Crawford, who ran for the seat in 2019 in a by-election, lost to Mrs. Vaz by 319 votes. However, he had this warning.
Some people who have special stamp and talk about don't qualify to run. What can go? So I see the prejudice in this country. Because when I said give out goat, they call me goat man. But when Andrew said give out donkey, they never call him donkey man.
For Isat Buchanan, he is campaigning on upliftment of the people.
And I share how I walk through the valleys of the shadow of death every day. And I am not deterred and I am not afraid. And I don't worry about what anybody has to say. I am here to represent you, and I am here to ensure that everybody's life here is uplifting.
PNP President Mark Golding told supporters that his party is seeking power to address the plights of all Jamaicans.
We're not here for isms and skidding. We're not here for pretty words only. We want the right policies and programs coming from the heart of the people to take Jamaica to the next level.
The general election is constitutionally due by September next year. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
Councillor for the Brownstown division, Kim Brown Lawrence, is denying reports of a rift between her and the Member of Parliament for Northwest St. Anne, Krista Lee. It follows a video circulating on social media in which the councillor was heard talking about poor treatment by party officials. This was in light of the matter involving the Ministry of Education Caribbean Maritime University saga. But at the constituency conference Sunday evening, she said the seat will not return to the PNP under her watch.
Was a People's National Party division for 36 unbroken years. And it take a little girl who love wear slippers and love fuss and talk about this one.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. The National Works Agency is being called upon to fix the Sligoville Main Road in St. Catherine. PNP councillors in the area contend the road has been neglected for far too long.
The recent closure of the Bogwalk Gorge in St. Catherine has brought into focus the poor condition of the Sligoville main road in the parish. The road is a critical alternative route when the Bogwalk Gorge is closed and for motorists seeking to avoid paying toll.
Sligoville main road serves almost every single community in my division, barring two. Every community from Greendale all the way up to Sligoville and beyond has to traverse this road. It is a well-motored roadway. A number of persons, after children, senior citizens, everybody traverse this road. It is a dangerous road.
Councillor Keisha Lewis of the Lauriston Division says the road is in desperate need of repairs.
I'll speak to the length of the Sligoville main road from Greendale coming up, which is riddled with potholes that you have to be dancing around.
The culverts have not been cleaned for years.
They point to other roads in the area in need of urgent attention.
As a point of emphasis on a section of road at Patton Park by the standpipe, constantly the road has been eroding, and you cannot really see most of it from the top. It is undermined. That is an accident waiting to happen.
The councillors are urging the authorities to take immediate action to fix the problem.
So we're using this medium, myself and Councillor Burke, to call on the National Works Agency to quickly do some damage repair to the Sligoville main road before something happens that we're going to regret.
The National Works Agency NWA says it is aware of the issues in the area. Assessments have been done, however, it is awaiting funding from the government to begin the work. Kerry Simpson, TVJ News.
Opposition spokesman on education, Senator Damon Crawford, wants to see a dramatic shift in how the education ministry operates. Mr. Crawford, who was speaking on TVJ Smile Jamaica Monday, says the changes should include a teacher retention plan.
And so while we have identified a teacher exit problem, we have not developed a teacher retention plan. So we want to see that immediately being implemented, because we're going to face the same issue, a cumulative issue, that there will be more teachers leaving in January and more teachers leaving next September. So we're going to have issues if we don't try to retain these teachers or fight for the services of the teachers, which we have not seen from the ministry.
Further explains that the retention is not just about money, but other benefits teachers can enjoy.
If you simply go to payment, then you will always lose that battle, because there are other countries that have greater capacity to pay, and the exchange rate will always cause it to be perceived to be higher. So you have to look at things like owning a home. We believe that teachers should get a special NHT. We get 9, they might get 18. When you leave, it becomes a normal loan. So therefore, because you don't want that 2% to become 14 or 12%, you will stay. We believe that every 5 years that they stay, they should get a discount on a vehicle for concession. So it means that you get a bigger concession after 10 years, you get a bigger concession after 15 years, causing for longevity to be a thing. We believe you should forgive every year of student loan that they stay in the system.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
Grace Kennedy repurchased nearly 100,000 shares under the Grace Kennedy 2023 share repurchase program. In a note to the Jamaica Stock Exchange, JSE, Grace Kennedy said it spent just over $7 million buying 95,000 shares on the open market. The purchase was done in 6 transactions over 2 days using funds from the company's coffers. Grace Kennedy says the share buyback scheme is to enhance shareholder value. It disclosed that the company intends to repurchase up to 1% of the shares in issue, which totaled $9.95 million. So far, Grace Kennedy has bought back 5.2 million shares as at November 5. Further afield, Bitcoin has reached a new record high. The world's largest cryptocurrency briefly touched $80,000 for the first time on Sunday. Bitcoin surged in the run-up to Tuesday's election and surged once it became clear Donald Trump would win. It has since continued to rise following the president-elect's victory, which investors believe is a bullish sign for the crypto industry. Trump has fully embraced crypto in recent months and said he wants it to be mined and minted in the US. He has also proposed to launch a strategic national Bitcoin stockpile. For the Business Minute, I'm Shane Masters.
And time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, a 6.8 magnitude earthquake off the coast of eastern Cuba Sunday triggered landslides and damage to homes and infrastructure. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel said the authorities are evaluating the situation before starting the recovery efforts. It comes less than a week after powerful Hurricane Rafael struck the western provinces of Cuba as a Category 3 hurricane. Pictures out of Cuba show cracks in the building and piles of debris as the island is still reeling from a very intense hurricane season, as well as continuous blackouts due to chronic shortage of electricity. On the international scene, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has made 2 more key appointments ahead of his return to the White House in January. Tom Homan, who served in the last Trump administration, will be the border czar. New York Ambassador Elise Stefanik becomes ambassador to the United Nations. The Republicans are edging closer to taking full control of the Congress. They already have the Senate, and counting for the House continues. And the Kremlin has denied media reports that U.S. President-elect Donald Trump held a call with Vladimir Putin in which he is said to have warned the Russian president against escalating the war in Ukraine. The call, which was first reported by the Washington Post on Sunday, is said to have happened on Thursday. Trump is also reported to have mentioned America's extensive military presence in Europe to Putin. A Kremlin spokesperson said the reports were pure fiction, while Trump's team told the BBC that it would not comment on the president-elect's private calls. And those are the top regional and international stories. I'm Carrie Simpson.
Thank you, Carrie, and we take another break. Sports is next.